So, today's October 10th. I don't know when this is going to get posted. Um, Yesterday, I had a phone call with a friend of mine who is a seer. She has has visions all the time, and I try to check in with her about once a quarter. Uh, but about once every 4 months or so, we get a chance to catch up on the phone. And she has a really busy life, and I do too, and that's just sort of the way it goes. Um, and it's a really fruitful friendship because we're at a distance enough that we have very independent lives, but we have sufficient common experiences that we both have. Um, oh, how do I describe this? Well, we learn a lot from each other, I guess, in sharing some of the things we go through. We'll have tons of common experience, and then there will be something different that will catch, and the Lord will start teaching the one person as the other person is teaching and aggregating to that. And it's nice because um, I know she feels like she can talk to me with a lot less filter than she has to employ in the world. Um, so, and there are opportunities where I get to share a few things with her that I think help her. And there have been many times where she's mentioned something that then the Lord just built an immense amount onto that. But anyway, um, it's also very fascinating to explore um, through observation the I don't want to say the gift of seership, but the that facet of relationship with God, um, because well that's a point worth just exploring a little. So you could call this a level of relationship with God, like some kind of a hierarchical pyramid. And that's not quite right because different gifts, they're more like facets on a gemstone. That's what those little planes are called that are cut into a gemstone, facets. Um, each one that you pick up shows you more of the whole. And so to get to know God, you have to go through these things. These you have to have access to and take advantage of these channels of information, these these views of knowing Him. Um, and some are more critical than others. There's more that can be conveyed through them. Hopefully that makes sense. There are different channels of revelation, forms of revelation, obviously different topics and content, different degrees. Anyway, but it's interesting to, through observation, explore the female version of this relationship with God because it is very different. And I wish I had more valuable things to say about that. I don't think it would do much good at this point, but um, I also don't have them to say. This is very much an active vein of digging for me, of learning. So, so that's always fun to just take a step back and observe and think instead of uh, just laughing because I was thinking of how I was going to say that. Sometimes it's nice to be in a situation where you know nothing. Um, anyway, during this conversation yesterday, she was talking about a person she knows, and I'm going to have to obfuscate details a little bit. So, a young lady she knows, and we'll call her the victim because you'll see why. And terrible things have been done to her, probably the most terrible things that can be done to a woman, so use your imagination. Um, and so she's facing these atrocities, basically. And my friend mentioned that um, it seemed to her that her feelings of love and concern and pain regarding the victim exceeded the pain that the victim actually felt. and obviously she was traumatized, but um, my friend's heart just broke to a million pieces, and she's like, I don't understand how this can be. She just seems so unaffected comparatively. And I said, well, the Lord, every time we feel joy, the Lord actually feels more for us vicariously. And every time we feel pain and sorrow, he feels more vicariously. And so, doesn't it stand to reason that the closer to the Lord we are, the more we would feel for others compared to how they feel? And there are deeper reasons for this that I can't fully explore right now or lay out right now. They include the fact that your awareness actually, let me backtrack, your emotions are conditioned on your awareness. And so the perceptions of most people are clouded by great ignorance, which is an absence of understanding, and great error, which is incorrect understanding. And so their emotions are usually not aligned with reality. And that, I think, is better understood by more people than what I'm about to say, which is as your understanding expands and you see more of the depth and breadth, depth and breadth of reality, what happens is the degree of emotions that you can experience in breadth and depth expand. So, God feels more than anyone else. Now, here's what's really interesting, is that the path to generating those feelings does not come through detached feeling. It comes through building your rational capability. Very important. So your mental understanding is what expands your heart's capacity. So there's a very interesting interplay between your body and your spirit, and that's very related. Big overlap there. So God's mind will expand your heart, and it goes both ways. You feel greater sorrow and greater joy, and all the other flavors of feeling. And this is very important, because as your mind expands and your feelings expand, you need more tools to contend with that intensity. So the gospel provides that. The Lord provides those tools, and their design is to help limit is not the right word. Mitigate is closer, but contend with might be the best phrase. Contend with the negatives while maximizing the intensity and duration of the positives. And that is what it's all about. Men are that they might have joy. Joy is a principal purpose of creation, increasing joy. Not just to have it, but to have it more abundantly. That's from John 10, right? So, if you're going to open up the floodgates to have more joy, you also have to open the floodgates to more sorrow, because they co-occur. All equal opposites co-occur. But they co-occur in experience. They don't have to co-occur in duration or in affect with an A. So they will always effect you, but they don't have to affect you. Very, very important ideas. So I'm just laying out a taste of this. There will be much more detail on this to come. Lots of scriptures too. But I just had that. I was just reminiscing about yesterday as I was booting up for the day, and that was an interesting aspect. I think that opened a lot of doors for my friend. She was like, "Oh," and I could tell the wheels were cranking, and she was putting a lot of things together with that. So there are implications for this in how uh, ministry goes, how service goes, how the heavenly hierarchy serves by flowing love from above to below. But that's probably enough for this short video.